What's up, ecosystem? Welcome back to ATI Auto Business. It's dispatching live. It's Thursday. My name is Jay. Top auto logistics video news on Tuesdays, connecting retail, wholesale, logistics, and tech. Your auto transport community media since 2017. Thank you so much for taking the time. We got 1 hour on the clock or more. We have special guest Brian Riker, your DOT guy. He's on the show today. Please do feel free to jump in the chat, and let's do this.
All right.
Sue, can you hear me okay?
Do you know why?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear the office. It's dispatching live. You're in a dispatch office in your dispatch.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't have headphones on today, so you can't not hear everything. You're going to hear everything today.
But you know, that can be colorful because...
That's for sure.
I mean, we never know what's going to happen. So if you're just joining now, you are... Okay, so you've joined a show live on YouTube on ATI, and there is a live dispatching office behind Sue, who is my co-host on this show. It's funny to doing this intro. We're like 150 shows in,
right?
But you know, I never know I never know anymore who's watching live or on demand. 2/3 of our views come after the show, so there's a lot of people. You know, logistics is busy. Who can take an hour out of their busy day in logistics to tune in to people talking about logistics?
True.
Not a lot.
Yeah.
And I've also been working on, people have been asking me, because I've got used car week next week, okay? Which is a big deal. I don't go to a lot of shows. I may end up going to more shows next year, not sure. But when I go to shows, people ask me. And a lot of people say, hey, I love your show, I watch. And I'm like, wow, I didn't even know. That's really appreciated. Thank you. And then they say, so who's in your audience? And I say, well, it's a mixture of carriers, dealers, brokers, auctions, and then within that, technology companies. But on Thursdays, we get a lot of, well, it's actually the same mix. But see, dealers don't say, well, here's what's interesting. Dealers don't say hello as much. Dealer technology companies, there's a lot of them. They actually check out this channel, but they don't say a lot because they're not exactly sure what to say because it looks like a lot of carriers, brokers, and dispatchers. And then the occasional auction person that isn't sure exactly what our angle is. I've learned these things now. Like, dealers and auction audience members, they're not sure, like, are we kidding? Are we moving vehicles? And this is why I share the dispatching live effect. Let's do that. This is now a good time to do this.
Okay.
Let me set up the show. All right, so it's dispatching live. Today's show is live carrier advice. Now, did you know? Okay, so live carrier advice. The series has ended.
Okay.
Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Yeah, live carrier advice was a series on ATI. I've made a lot of changes in the last 60 days. I mean, this channel has changed a lot. I don't know how much is apparent. People will find out more in the coming months, I guess. But, for example, live carrier advice has ended. We were doing it kind of weekly, then bi-weekly, or bi-monthly, weekly, then bi-monthly, then monthly, and really, Brian is very busy. He's busy right now. He's not even in the Zoom waiting room, like I told him. No. By the way, I found a digital bell. Check this out. You hear that?
No.
I can't. Can you hear that?
No, but it's probably because this isn't working right on my side, so.
It's me. I'm the problem. It's me. At tea time. You sing this? Okay. So, live carrier advice. Brian Riker. He's our live guest today, which is pretty neat. Hey, what's going on, Elena? Danny B. Peach Transport. This one's for you, Peach. Or you like this one? Let me know. Did you like bell 1 or bell 2? 2 bells, please. One ping Vasily. Name that movie. 1 ping Vasily. Give me 1 ping. Okay. We're off to a weird start. I know. It's load board search advice. Yeah, clearly, Jay. You guys are searching up the load boards like crazy. We'll get into that. Let's do the disclaimer. Here we go. I don't know. I still don't know all the time why I do this, and then I find out later in the show. Oh yeah, we got a problem today. Please be aware that views and analysis provided on Dispatching Live relate to the auto transport industry as a whole, and may not relate directly to ATI, Auto Business, Auto Transport, Intel, any affiliates, advertisers, or audience members, and it's not my problem if you're triggered. All viewers and participants of this content expressly waive any rights during this live program, whether in voice, chat, comment, video, or audio, and have been advised and encouraged not to say or express any opinions and company names that may relate directly to ATI, Auto Business, Auto Transport, Intel, any affiliates, advertisers, audience members, or any other company or individual, and should not feel the right to, they have the right to do so. And I'm not kidding. Okay. So if you feel you're a little queasy, that's the Dispatching Live effect. We realize it's harder and harder to get, like, actual objective news. So we're doing that here. I know. Canceled. Auto Transport Community Media since 2017. That's right, we've been doing that since 2017. These things take time. We cover the whole ecosystem, new, used, auction, dealer, broker, shipper, carrier, dispatcher, all in one bucket. And for example, Repo is in the bucket. Do you know that 5% of the audience on ATI is Repo now? You believe that?
Really?
I know. Isn't that wild?
That is wild.
It's so cool. It worked.
Can you hear me now?
Check. I do hear. I
Nope.
hear, and I do hear you.
I hear you.
We do hear you. I hear you. Mic check 1 2.
Okay, now I can hear you again. Sorry.
Oh, sweet. No, you're good. Thank you.
Okay.
So we did a Cleardata repo load demo last Thursday. You remember this? Actually, there was some great stuff. I gotta find some time codes, make some YouTube shorts. That was a really cool show.
Yeah.
We are the ecosystem's neutral zone because we allow everybody in one giant church. And if you get kicked out, you kicked yourself out. Because we still welcome. Listen, this is a channel of second chances. You know, people can have situations where they disagree and then whatever. I believe in second chances. So we're the neutral zone channel of second chances. This is automotive, man. Show me the truck. Okay, got the craziest story today on Show Me the Truck. You know, normally we show trucks that are full and loaded and great. Did you see this one?
Yeah, that's good.
TQL, pay me my $8,000. That's awesome. And then probably a little extra to get the spray paint off afterwards. I don't know.
Okay,
But
cancel this one then?
what's great about it is everybody can
Yeah,
understand.
because she
this.
doesn't know
I
that
mean,
either.
We understand your plight.
Okay, you're gonna go.
And by the way, this is one of those companies that is super great because they super employ lots of super people and they have mega money and all this great stuff, right? Barbecues and carnivals and swag, right? Great. Until they're not great, until we find out, like, I mean, I'm apparently this is a true story, and I've not taken it too far, but I do have a waiver just in case. This is the guy. Like, this is it. Gabriel, he's the driver. He says, I know we don't support TQL, but please hear me out. I stopped working for them about 4 months ago. It's been about 120 days. They refused to pay me due to a fabricated claim. You know, and I don't have the details there. This is an opinion that I'm sharing on a show. Next week I'm rolling to the head office, and apparently he did. He did roll to the head office, and you know, I mean, it's not like these guys haven't been in the news. You know, these great companies are really great until the truth comes out that they're not so great. And then, I don't know, they just get a COVID loan and everybody goes to Tahiti. I don't know, but this guy just wants his $8,000. Is it that hard? Does he have to drive up in a spray-painted truck to collect his money? You know, and his dog's in the cab and he's out there. I mean, what is going on here? It really? Golly, dude. I'll bet each one of those windows is $8,000. I don't know. Just hand the guy a window. Hey, did you get the memo? All right. You sent me this. Was this today? Manage your entire central dispatch team. User management lets account owners take control of their use. You know what's great too is if you're with Central Dispatch, the digital bell is good. Awesome. If you're with Central Dispatch at this point, I guess you probably don't even need to. There's no need to even talk to me or email me because as long as it gets to Sue, it'll end up on ATI. So that's kind of awesome, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's a joke, Joe. I'm kidding. Let's see. So what is user management all about? Manage the entire team. Well, I've got a video. Should we roll the video? Let's just see if this video works here. Let's give this a shot.
The all-new Central Dispatch.
Okay, now let me make sure we share the sound. And away we go. Here we go. Roll that video.
User management system lets business owners give employees their own personal Central Dispatch accounts. Account owners will now have far more control over how they run their business on Central Dispatch. They'll decide which employees or contractors can access certain features, decide who gets to view sensitive information, and eliminate the risks of sharing credentials of a single universal login. To access the Manage Users page, click your name from any page and select Manage Users from the account dropdown. Only users with the role.
Okay, note, it took 30 seconds for me to understand what we were going to watch. Because on its face, I did not know. Sue, did you understand what this email was trying to tell you when you opened? You did.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
And I think it has to do with the fraud that keeps happening with employees and going back and doing crazy stuff. You know what I mean? So I think that's why they did this, so that they can only have certain access to certain things and they can't go in when they get fired or whatever. If they want to do something crazy, they can't access certain things. That's where I think this is coming from.
Of owner, admin, or member managed.
No, it's not. Here, I'll turn the audio off. We'll keep talking. So, okay, and I remember when I was in the dispatch office, we talked about different levels of user management. Like, so you have your, and you see this in many web services, right? You've got your super admin, then you've got your like owner, then you've got your driver, then you got your dispatcher. And if we stop here, so you got owner, admin, manager, user, driver. And so your driver can, just see? They can only access the loads, but they can't, like, delete loads. Yeah,
or can't do, like, you wouldn't have access to, like, dispatch loads or, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
A driver can't bill it, right, okay. Now, a user, full site access, but can't manage users. Okay. A manager, full site access, they can manage users and drivers. An admin, full site access, can manage. And then an owner you can do whatever you want. You can delete the darn thing. So are you using this?
No. I don't think it's come out yet. I haven't gotten it.
Okay. Are you going to... And I laughed. That was so
going
unfair.
To be happening, yeah.
That was so mean.
That's why I took it.
Geez, Jay, we sure know what side of this fence you're on. Now, are you going to use this? What do you think? I mean... yeah.
Well, I don't know if I would personally use it because we're the only ones that, it's only me and one other person that access that kind of stuff. Now, I could understand when we're being hired as dispatchers, if the owner wanted to do that, I could see doing that.
So, question, if the owner let's say the owner gave a dispatcher access, which one should the dispatcher have? Because I didn't know that either. That was actually a question I had. And then, in Central Dispatch, here you go, Joe. What you can do is...
Probably manager, I would say.
You could put in parentheses next to one of these, recommended dispatcher.
Right.
Because I
would say the manager would probably be
manager for dispatcher.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I mean, if you're a bigger company, of course, there's going to be all those levels in there. I don't know why you would ever let a driver, if they worked for you, though, have access to it. But that's just me.
Well, they can access their loads from their website interface rather than just on their mobile device. I don't know.
But see, what if you had multiple drivers?
See, well, and here, who is this? I just want to say this, by the way, Joe. I think this is a great idea, but one of the other things I wonder before we go into great idea, what would you like to see come out next that you think is really important within Central Dispatch software? Think about that. Because I think it's cool this has been released, but I wonder what other modules and enhancements. And I'm actually... yeah.
Honestly, I don't know if this is going to fall into this category, but this whole rating thing and just letting anybody put ratings on you.
Oh, the ratings thing.
You know, because they're doing it all in retaliation. I mean, that's what's ticking us off is they don't pay us our broker fee and they give us a negative. Okay. It's not right. And also on top of that, does everybody realize that you don't get notifications if you've got a negative or a 1-star? You have to go in and find it. We do no longer get notifications we were given any kind of rating whatsoever or that you gave somebody a rating. So we used to get emails back every single time.
Ratings is still your biggest beef.
Ratings is my biggest thing. You don't, I've lost thousands of dollars because I can't get people to pay me the broker fee because of this.
What?
There's nothing to hold over their head. There's not, I mean, you have 60 days to pay me now, right? Now, I get the 60 days, but if they don't care, they don't care. Nobody trusts these ratings anymore because everybody just writes whatever the hell they want on here. There's no control issue or nobody monitoring whether it's true or not. Where before, if you gave someone a retaliatory rating because you gave them a negative because they didn't pay you and you provided proof of that, now they can just go on and say they're lying, I paid them, or they did this or they did that, whether it's true or not. There's nobody to stop any of that. It's just whatever anybody wants to put. So if you think of it that way, then it's all lies. How can you trust it?
Wow.
Right?
Whoa. I mean, what's amazing? I thought we were going to kind of focus on this a little bit. Mm-hmm. And that reviews update has really got you on fire.
Oh, yeah.
And you can't be alone. You can't be alone.
No, I can't be.
No, there's no way. And I mean, so I want to talk about the broker fee for a second. So you're saying, because what's broker fee? Broker fee is an amount of money that, let's say you're a carrier and you agree to move a load for $800. And the broker fee is $100.
Right.
So you get $800 COD, and really, so the carrier pay is $700. Carrier pay is, I'm going to show you my little notes here. The carrier pay is $700, but I'm going to collect $800 COD, and I'm going to pay the broker $100.
Right.
What's to force me to actually pay the broker once I collect the $800? Right.
Nothing.
Not much. Yeah, not much.
No.
But you're saying you used to use reviews to make sure you got that money.
Right, because we'd say, okay, look, and I mean, don't get me wrong, we still say that, but there's nothing really, say we give them a negative, like we just got a call from somebody we gave a negative to for, and that was the other thing, like before we could give them a negative, but take it off once they paid us. Now I wait until 60 days because that's the rule. 60 days. I wait till the very last minute to whether they're going to pay me or not. They get a negative, it stays on there. And we just got a call from a guy now, and he's like, I didn't know about it. I was using a dispatch service. They never told me that I had to pay you a broker fee. I got a negative. What can we do about this? Well, yeah, you can pay me. And you can, this is what I told him to do. I said, go into your reviews, say that you paid me. I'll respond and say, yes, he did. But that's all you can do for it. And if they don't catch it, if it's past the 60 days, there's nothing anybody can do. Like, I can't review it back. He can't review it. It's just a done deal, and it cannot be removed. And you can't imagine when I get a load and I'm going to broker it out to a transporter, and you look at all the reviews and they're saying, well, they haven't paid. And they may have paid. Sometimes they say, yes, I did pay, or I've seen them on there. I'm sorry, we screwed up. We got the payment from these people and we gave them a negative to the wrong company, and Central won't remove it. That's true. They won't have anything to do with any of this stuff any longer. So you can't make a mistake. So if you accidentally give a bad review to the wrong company, that company gets screwed. Then they're pissed at you. And I've contacted them and said, we gave the review to the wrong company. And they're like, too bad. So what are you supposed to do about it? There's nothing coming back for once you get that review, it's done. I don't really care for that either. I don't know if that's necessarily fair. So I don't know. Wow. Reviews suck.
Now, so it sounds to me like nobody's following up with you and asking you about reviews.
No. I mean, we went over this when I had a meeting with them when they were first talking about doing this, but I was never told that once it's reviewed, it's a done deal. And like when they started in February, everything that we hadn't reviewed wasn't going to happen. We couldn't review them any longer, that kind of thing.
When's the last time you had a meeting with them?
Months. They were going to come to me, I thought it was last January, if I'm not mistaken, and make me a part of where they did this every quarter, but I haven't heard from them since before that. So
what do you think has changed?
I think the problem is, they're techies, and I get it, but these are real live people that you're dealing with too. We're not just dealing with tech.
The tech seems to work.
Yeah.
It's not a tech problem, is it?
No, it's not a tech problem. It's
right.
The follow-through part of it, of what really happens when it actually goes through. And they don't look at it that way because they're not out there on the road. They're not the people doing that. You know what I mean? Here's
Devon. I'm reading a comment in the live chat. Okay? I'm reading a comment in the live chat.
Okay.
That's for the gentleman in the briefcases. Central Dispatch really doesn't care and have the audacity to raise the prices next month.
Right.
Okay.
True.
Now, I mean, somebody could say, well, we're used to that channel always bags on us. They don't matter. Is that where we're at? Because I don't know.
Probably.
I mean, I can't name many companies that would just week after week not give a crap that's happening. Yeah. I mean, maybe TQL, but don't you think TQL cares?
No. No, I don't.
How about this, live chat? Can you name companies in auto logistics that just don't give a... Please put it in the live chat.
Okay.
Yeah, put it in the live chat. We're going to take a poll. Top 10 companies in auto logistics... Oh, here we go.
Thank you. Bye.
Top 10 companies in auto logistics that just don't give an F. Please put it in the live chat. Thanks for playing. Elena says, I love how many companies are switching to SD. I want to read some of these live chats. Some good stuff in here.
Okay.
And Peach, really good point, Michael. Michael, Peach Transport, has been contributing a lot lately. And live audience, small carriers, couple of dispatchers. See, here's what's interesting. And I just made a note of this, too. See, and I can prove it because I write things down. Oh, Pre-Owned Auto Logistics. Thanks for the notepad. I'll be seeing them next week at Used Car Week. Shout out Dana, Carrie. Let's see, there's Jeremy and Colby. And let's see here. So my live audience is different from my on-demand audience. Isn't that interesting? This gets back into, there's the folks that want to tune in live. And I mean, here's what's interesting. I get it. I would want to tune in live, but I don't know if I have the time. That's why I no longer take the views personally, like live views, because people go and watch on demand when they have time. You can skip through. You can listen to the podcast. Get a lot of podcast downloads, too. The podcast download number surprised me because it's going up. And in fact, like people, the most listened to podcast platform is Apple Podcasts. And I don't do anything to promote that. So I don't know. It's interesting. The most social media I do is LinkedIn. Okay. So, but thank you, Peach. I think you're right. In the live audience on Dispatching Live, you have carriers and dispatchers. On the live audience on Tuesdays, you have more of the dealer, broker, auction tech, as well as carriers and some dispatchers. And in fact, less carriers tune in on Tuesdays because, and I was having a conversation, this is going to aggravate. I don't know if I should say this. I don't want to trigger anybody. Should I wait? I'm going to wait. We're going to do trigger information later in the show. Yeah, that's the right thing to do. I'm making a note. Remind me, trigger information. We'll end the show with trigger information. So stick around to the end of the show for trigger information. That sounds like a new segment on ATI. Oh, welcome to Auto Transport. You can do whatever you want. I was just talking to somebody else about how this is... I end the show. If you send me an email, if you did whatever it is, if you disagree with me, you can no, Jay, you can't do whatever you want. No, I've never received an email saying no, Jay, you can't do whatever you want in Auto Transport. Not in 7 years, because you can do whatever you want. I mean, you shouldn't be able to, but you can. And the number one tech company in auto transport sets the tone. Am I right? I mean, right? You can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. Okay. I better watch it. They're going to load up the briefcases. Elena said, hey, what's up, Devon, by the way? It's good to see you. I'll give you a digital bell. Which one is it? Let's see. TQL paid my driver $650 to another company. Oh, yeah. I remember that story. Until I got their nice broker bond guy to make them pay. Yeah, that's crazy. Why is it so hard to get paid in logistics? Well, then we got that story coming up. Okay. TQL blows. Last month we killed it. Port rates are sky high. Good job, Devon. See, now there's interesting. I really like that. Now, you find a niche and you mine the gold. Find the niche, mine the gold. Find the niche, mine the gold. And don't say anything to anybody. And yeah, Michael, send me that TQL video. That sounds good. Kicking up dust. It's great to see you in here again. Super Dispatch is on the rise. Now, it's interesting you say that. I had somebody talking to me about Central Dispatch yesterday. And I'm just going to say nothing bad. Just talking about Central Dispatch, Super Dispatch. See? Talk about Super Dispatch. What's their strategy? What's their growth? What's their market penetration? What does it look like in 5 years? And those are all really good questions. I don't think I can give those answers. But I do know this is that Super Dispatch was participating in ATI probably half of this year. That was really cool, really interesting. We hope they come back in 2024 and do some more great stuff. So we're looking forward to that. Okay. Hey, DDD is here. What's going on? Digital Bell. Okay. Since you can do whatever you want in auto transport, Sue?
Yes.
All right, Sue writes to me, is this some BS or what? This was after it was dropped and billed out. I said, yep. What are we talking about, Sue?
So
she said, yeah. What? So here's the document. What is this? What is this? And by the way, name that broker.
Sheet. Yeah. This is the load sheet and the rate confirmation. Okay. Did the load. We took the load, just so you know, on Friday to drop, pick up Monday, drop Tuesday. We dropped it on Tuesday. I get an email from them saying, we sent you the wrong rate confirmation. We need you to accept this new one and send it back to us. And it's for $266. I sent them an email back and I said, I am not going to accept this. This is not correct. I have a rate confirmation with the correct amount that I signed on Friday. I still have not heard back from them. But talk about some, yeah.
Now, how is this the wrong? Okay, let's dive into this. Same one,
right?
Yeah, this is, okay, let's go into it because, we know there's plenty of, and I'm just going to, this is why I have a waiver.
Right.
we know there's bait and switch all the time when you call a load.
Yes.
But this would be bait and switch after you've got the load.
Yeah, this is after I've delivered the load.
After you've delivered, oh my God. Okay, so the carrier out of Woodlands, Texas, agreed to a $400 quick pay, which actually gives them $388 because this broker is also a bank.
Right.
Right? So they have a $12 processing fee, which is at least cheaper than Vegas.
Yeah, it's 3% is what they charge. Yeah.
Yeah. You know. Yeah,
cheaper than also basically factoring company usually too. So
forget about it. We're going to charge you a fee because we're all banks now.
Yeah.
You know, like when people need to borrow money from me for a couple days, I charge them 5%.
Yeah.
F it.
Right.
So it's picking up in Westfield, Texas. I don't charge people to borrow money. Okay. Especially when they've worked for it. That's another thing, too. Good job, son. Well done shoveling the driveway. Now, if I pay you now for shoveling the driveway, I'm going to have to charge you 5% as your dad. Okay? Now, I could pay you for shoveling the driveway. I could pay you in 30 days at the full amount. All right? But since you shoveled the driveway, if you want the money now, I'm taking 5%. I mean, come on. Anyways, it's picking up in Westfield, Texas. It's going to Abbeville, Louisiana. It was picked up. It was delivered. It's a 2023 Ford Bronco Sport. Okay?
Yep.
That's the original signed to $400 minus 3% agreement.
Yep.
Picked up on the 30th, delivered on the 31st, 233 miles. We don't want to miss anything. Because, oh my gosh. Wait. No, that was the wrong dispatch sheet. Here's the correct one. Picking up in Westfield, Texas, delivering in Abbeville, Louisiana, 2023 Ford Bronco Sport.
Yep. Same load number.
Scheduled pickup was a month ago. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Did we miss the SLA and we got to screw the carrier because is that what this is?
Screwed up. Yeah, I think that's probably their fee involved in it.
Oh crap! We're not taking a hit. We're passing this on to the carrier.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We'll just tell them. Listen, here's what we're gonna do. All right, everybody, sit around the conference room. Here's what we're gonna do. Now we realize the origin is the same, the destination is the same, the mileage is the same. But we messed up by a month, or it's a typo, whatever it is. Who cares? We're not taking the hit. Just call them. Just call them and tell them we got it wrong. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Good job, everybody. Rock and roll. We're the best. Right, and this is the expression of the VP in the corner office that hears about this on ATI. Like, oh, God. Really? That freaking channel again talking about? Oh. Well, listen, don't stink it up and you won't end up live on ATI. All right? Okay. Ding. And this actually came in too, which is ironic. So I work for Echo Park Automotive. And they are a big part of the company. Sometimes we get issues from the transporters that come to Echo Park. Why can't most of the transporters understand we have to notate damages and you guys send us the new rule? We have to mark damages regardless, even if they marked it just like yesterday. I had to press the middle button, you know, the orange, and press STI because he refused to allow me to notate damage. So everybody's really happy. Just loving it. Good work, everybody. But you know, it was the dispatcher. Before we go on to the dispatcher, let's see here. Oh, Elena, you can say it all day long. I just can't. My hands are tied. I can't do that. That'd be terrible. I might run into them at Used Car Week. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure they're going to be looking for me. Let's see here. Where is... Oh, okay. Brian says he'll do his best. No problem either way. This is actually why... This is one of the reasons why Live Carrier Advice came to its finale. He's just busy. He's very busy, which is awesome.
Brian's really busy.
Brian is really busy. Oh no, Elena. Oh my goodness. Brian is really busy. Brian is really busy. And actually so am I. That's the thing too. We both needed more of our time back. I feel like I work all day. I'm now down to 2 shows a week, and because we have put the series finale on Cars on the Move as well. So I just got the Tuesday and the Thursday, and I'm busy all day. Whether it's phone calls, or I'm working on marketing, or I'm working on YouTube Shorts, which actually that's a lot of work. I know, Jay. Oh, Jay. Okay. All right. We had this show Tuesday, the other day, Halloween special, broker versus carrier. Now, Sue was having audio issues when we were talking about getting to know your dispatcher. Sue, did you see this?
Yeah, but I could see, but I couldn't hear anything that was going on.
All right.
Until I finally got on the phone.
Well, it's your lucky day, because we are going to revisit Know Your Dispatcher.
Okay.
Okay? So, Stannis, I don't know where in the heck this came from. And I had to fuzz the faces out. Stannis works night ops in Lithuania office, has 0 math skills, becomes agitated when he's asked to calculate driver hours, which is funny because that was me. I would drive. My drivers would ask me to like calculate and map out every pickup and every delivery, and I'm like, no. What about booking loads? What about verifying loads? Can I focus on what's going to keep you loaded?
Okay, totally forgot.
Doing Google Maps homework is not, that doesn't add to the revenue. I realize we need it, but, and Stannis also sells DMT to his coworkers. Now, Vassal, by the way, you'll notice a pattern in the names. They're Irish. And Vassal has worked for 4 different truck companies this year. Always his decision to leave. He posts every truck as VM. What is VM? Do you know what VM is? That sounds like freight talk. Devon says, don't forget they don't speak English. Okay. All right, so this is going over really well. Like a Led Zeppelin, as some would say. Like a Led Zeppelin. All right, we'll keep moving. Oh, that was it. Wait a minute, that was it. Oh, I don't have any more, and Brian's not here. Oh, Brian, no response. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. So this could be a shorter show.
Okay.
Boy, I never say that. Because we're so used to having the guest show. Let me tell you, let's talk about some future shows while we're here. We've got, this could be cool. We've got, Rob Stevenson. Oh, no, before him. Okay, Freight Validate with Nathaniel. I want to ask you, what are you doing to vet carriers right now, Sue?
The usual, like, we get their certs, we read their reviews, just the usual stuff that we always do is grab all their paperwork, if they're brand new, I usually will give people a shot as long as I can get all their documentation. You can also look them up on the SAFER website, FMCSA. I will be honest with you, most of my people have worked with me, so it's very few and far between I get newbies.
Okay.
So
good. I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm going to read some notes from a conversation I had yesterday. We might just go into that trigger. We might just go into triggered information right now. All right. we were talking about, I'm reading off of I took some notes on my laptop here, and so I'm going to read off of that. And by the way, you can share your screen. Let's look at some loads, too.
Okay.
We'll go another 20 minutes. Now, I was asking this guy, who I've known for quite a while, and he's worked as a broker. That's been his, main career in auto logistics. He's a cool guy. And so, he doesn't make stuff up or have to garnish the truth with cherries and crap. Okay, so he says he thinks that a majority of carriers are starving right now.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think that's true? You agree? Okay.
Absolutely.
Majority of carriers are starving right now. Let's talk about that. Live chat. Are a majority of carriers starving right now? Do you think this is true? And let's talk about why. And for example, like, he believes that a majority of carriers are taking cheap loads because they're desperate just to stay loaded. Now, I don't mean like super cheap, $50 less, but not, carriers are not able to dictate the dollars that they need to cover their costs and make the right money they need to grow a business.
Right.
You think that's true?
Oh, yeah. They have us basically by the balls right now.
They do. And that would explain why. That's interesting you say that, because that would explain why. Let's just do it again. Let's try. You know what? What we did was we're gonna back the truck up and drive over the body again. All right? That's why, like, this stuff, you can maybe pull this off, right?
Yeah.
Because carriers are
desperate.
desperate. Now, what are you doing in this situation?
Oh, I've already told them we're not doing this. I have proof. I already sent them the proof. And I said they need to get it corrected. And if I don't get an answer back here today, I'm going to call a manager over there.
Okay.
Because I've had them do this to me before.
Oh, really? This has happened before?
Yes. Not with this driver, but with another driver down in Florida. We did it on the show. We had a 2-pack and a single unit, I believe is what we talked about. And they reduced it in half. And I said, I've got the proof of this load. And I had to talk to about 5 different people till they finally said, okay, we understand, we're going to correct it right now. And we got it corrected. And this is total.
Well, yeah. I'll tell you what's interesting, and thank you, kicking up dust, stomach touching the backbone, right? Starving. Yeah, majority of Americans starving. People are starving. Yeah. People are hungry. Not everybody. Yeah. Even Craig Fuller of Freight Waves, he's talking about trucking recession, capacities down. Here's what I want to ask. Do you think even this company, the reason they had to do this is because maybe they are?
No.
They're fine.
I think they're fine. I think what I think happened on this?
What?
I think someone posted it on there, which included their fee, and they're trying to recoup their fee.
Okay, so they gave away their fee.
That's what I think has happened. But that's not my problem.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think of this scheduled pickup September 29th business? Is that a typo or what's going on there?
And
here, look at this.
Know.
Date carrier signed 10/27. Is that right?
Let's see.
Did you book it on the 27th, and then they're trying to?
I'm looking at my
right, and they're trying to say, "Oh yeah." But I don't understand if they were so meticulous on the date carrier signed. How did scheduled pickup get weird?
Yeah,
I don't understand.
Well, here's the only thing. This may be what happened. Because this is at like a rail yard that came in on the boats, I believe. Because you can pick up 24/7, and as you can see, you have to have the safety vest. And it had a bay number, so maybe it got delayed, Or maybe it didn't have a chip. I don't know. It's something to that effect is what I would think why the dates are so wonky.
The dates are weird.
Mm-hmm.
If I was with the lead detective on this case, I'd say, what's up with the dates? Where's 9/29? Where'd that come from?
They just listed a six
Yeah.
pack from Wichita to Kansas City.
And the thing is, and that's,
You got it?
No,
why isn't 9/29 on here anywhere?
2,500 and
Good point.
3,500 and the rest
Or
of it.
is it? And you know, oh, by the way, okay, you can't see it, but look, it's down at the bottom. This was signed on, isn't that interesting?
10/27.
Yeah, I mean,
10/12.
their own system
Yeah.
has it listed of when it was signed.
Oh, well, it's not really.
You might want to remove that from the system because that's not going to help us in the detective's office.
No. I mean, they have this. You know they have this. If they think I keep all of this stuff. Plus, I have the original email when they sent it to me, and I signed for it.
Are they up in the VP's corner office right now? And he's saying, "Oh my God." They're live right now talking about this?
Yeah, maybe.
And they're looking at it. I would be. And they're looking at it and they're like, yeah, where did 9/29 come from? Why is he talking about 9/29? And what are we doing here? I mean, the kid shoveled the driveway, just pay him.
Let me look at the original actual sheet if it shows that on there too. Hold on. Because I just sent you the rate con. But we just dropped this, so let me see.
And I mean, we're just, dude, I mean, here, Kicking Up Dust is telling you the guy needs to eat. It's not like, I mean, it's not like this you can't just say, oh yeah, you're right, no problem. It's not like it pays that great anyways. I mean, what are we talking about? 233 miles. What does that pay? I guess that's not bad, right? Which is why that was booked.
Yeah, that's why I booked it. Yep.
And I guess, well, then someone can say, well, Jay, 233 miles, paying $275. That's $1 a mile. Here, the phone's ringing.
Right.
I think it's the
not
VP in the corner office.
Now, on my original sheet from them, it
Really?
does not show that date anywhere. Weird. It's
Right,
only on the new sheet that they sent to me.
See, and that's what I was thinking. But see, this is more of this is just a rate agreement.
Right.
Whereas this is more, this contains your BOL and all that stuff, right?
Well, but it also says rate agreement at the top, too. Isn't that interesting? That's what they want me to sign and send back, and I'm refusing. I'm not doing it.
Okay, so they're asking you to sign it and send it back.
Yep.
And you
Not
said,
doing
no,
it.
I'm not signing it.
Nope.
And they're saying, and then
They
what do
haven't
they say?
answered me.
What did they say about this? We're not paying that. We were wrong. That was an error.
They haven't answered me at all.
Did you sign this, or did you have to? I mean, it's in their system.
No, that's the one I signed originally. That's the correct one. Yeah.
I mean, is it a deal's a deal, right? A contract's a contract.
Well, that's a contract. I mean, I could go to their broker bond company and say they need to pay me this. They know that too. That's a contract. We followed through with what we were going to do. We picked up on the day we were supposed to. We delivered on the day we were supposed to. We have a signed bill of lading. There's no damages. They cannot do what they're trying to do.
Wow.
And maybe some people would just agree to that. I'm not agreeing to that.
And I always like to ask, what would the shipper say if they heard? I mean, isn't this like? I mean, it's picking up at a rail. This is like a new vehicle, right?
Yeah, it's brand new. Well, not brand new, but brand new. Yeah.
But I guess maybe the client wouldn't care. They'd be like, yeah, stick it to him.
Yeah, I could see that happening. Yeah, we need it cheaper, you know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Did you get that guy? Oh yeah, it was so good. Woo! Sushi. No, but that's not right. I mean, that's not right. Maybe everybody right now is in the they're in the VP's office and everybody's like really worried. You think that's the deal?
No.
No. Dang it. So, let's see here. Okay, so me and the broker guy, we're talking about, all right, so let's talk about why is freight down. I mean, it's more than just freight is down. Okay, so you've got people that were relocating in the POV space, right? They're not relocating as much as they were.
Right.
Because COVID is over. So you got POV. POV could be down. And this is where, like, what I would like to know, I probably won't get this in, but I guess if I did some research, man, Jay, if you just did some darn work, I would like to get some POV move statistics. All right, I'm going to write that down. POV move stats. Because we're assuming POV moves are down. Okay? We're going to assume that. Dealers. Now, dealer trades, dealer acquisition. I don't know if that's down. Just like new car deliveries. I think new car deliveries are down somewhat. It's not terrible yet. Anyways, we're trying to, right? Auction sales, we know that auction sales are down. You know that at auctions, right? What happens after the sale at the auction?
Usually get them moved, yeah.
Right, those cars need to get moved. Okay. So that's a lot of business for transporters. Well, two things have happened. One is, now there's more digital auction sales, which means onesies, twosies everywhere, which changes a 9 cars lane.
Right.
The other thing is that traditional auction sales are down. So there's less vehicles being transported after the sale. Many of those vehicles are rerunning in the sale, and that means nobody had to move anything. The car was already there, they rerun it again, or maybe they send it to another auction or send it back to the dealer. But anyways, now repossession should be up. Let's talk about repossession loads. Sue, do you book many repo loads, or where are you on that? Silence. She'll come back to us. I told the broker that I didn't think people believed in really paying very well for shipping. What do you guys think of that? The philosophy of auto logistics cost. I mean, you think about it. Like, Amazon is almost negligible. We barely even notice our shipping costs for Amazon, right?
Right.
I mean,
well, I don't pay anything, but
yeah, it seems like it's almost free. And I know this is true because when I buy, Brian's here. When I buy, Brian will bring in a second. When I buy something like, let's say I buy some cigars, and they whack me on shipping.
Mm-hmm.
I just said they whack me. They didn't whack me. They charged me what shipping costs.
Right.
But I feel like I'm getting whacked because I'm so used to all this cheap shipping. I believe that this phenomenon exists, and that when people are told that they got to ship a car for $1,000, they fall out of their chairs.
Yes. Even when it's like a Rolls Royce.
Yeah. Oh, especially the Rolls Royce.
Yep.
What?
And they don't want that shit enclosed even. They want it open cheap.
And so people don't believe in paying very much money for shipping. I believe this is a problem.
Yeah.
Now, people also, this is what's interesting. The law keeps going up on trucking, but the expectation of cost keeps going down.
Right.
Dealers keep expecting transportation costs to actually go down.
Yeah, that's
a true statement. Many dealers expect transportation costs to go down because of economies of scale, because of technology, and I don't know.
Yeah, it's still a driver out there still paying fuel, so I don't know how they think that works, but
And so, right, and fuel, that was another thing I was saying.
Expenses all go up. Yeah.
Well, on the West Coast, fuel's up. Parts are down, which means parts cost more. And you tell that to somebody that doesn't need a part, they do not care.
No, until they need the part.
No.
And then they can't figure out why it takes a month to get to them.
It's like talking about, well, you're going to get a cavity. Okay, so I don't have one, though.
Yeah.
But then once you get one, you're like, oh my God, stop the presses, I've got a cavity.
Well, let's think about this. If Central can raise their prices, same concept.
That's right. That's right. It's headed, everything's headed in the wrong direction and that's where, I know, there's 10 people watching or whatever. if you watch videos on YouTube, because I checked, there are still guys making videos about making money with your truck. And guess what? It's all new guys.
Of course it is.
It's all new. And it'll be a whole new set of guys in 3 years.
Or less.
Anybody making videos about making money, trucking and car hauling, pretty much stops doing it within 5 years.
Right.
And the reason I know that is because I've been here the whole time. Well, since 2017. But I've now seen a few cycles. And here's what sucks. The return on making that get-rich-quick video, let's say you get 50,000 views for making a get-rich-quick video. Let's round it off at 100K, which isn't common. Well, you need 1 million views to make $4,000. So, if you got 100,000 views, you still only made $400 to make 100,000 people believe that they're going to get rich trucking. Was it worth it? Was it really worth $400 to let a section of the trucking community know that you didn't tell them everything about this business? Is it really worth it?
No.
I mean, can we pass a hat and give $500 to every get-rich-quick YouTuber idea? Oh my God, you hear what the guy said on ATI? It's true, it's not worth it. Don't make videos of get-rich-quick crap. It isn't worth it. Do me a favor, stick around. Right after this, we're going to be live with your DOT guy, Brian Riker, for some live career advice. We'll be right back.
Are you completely stressed out from all the calls and the contracts and the verifications of loads where nobody ever answers the phone? Call Murphy Auto Dispatch Services today. Murphy Auto Dispatch Services has over 15 years in the transport industry. We are your office while you are on the road. We book, we verify, and we bill out your loads for you. We have an excellent accounting staff and an even better dispatch team. Give us a call today at 417-273-0021, or if you want to email me, it's murphyautotransport31@yahoo.com. Give us a call today.
Hey, welcome back to ATI, everybody. Thank you so much. I'm putting the links in the live chat for Sue. You can email her, you can call her, go to murphyautotransportservices.com. She is a fully licensed broker, and she's a professional dispatcher. So whatever you're looking for, if you want to stay loaded, if you need to move a car, if you have a question, she knows about broker packets. Sue, you do a lot in that office.
We do a lot, and I do have some open spots. I have a new dispatcher that needs some spots filled. So, and he does the larger car haulers too. So if anybody has a 7 or 8 or 9, he's ready as well. So, but yeah, we do brokerage, we do dispatching, I answer questions. So yeah, anytime anybody needs anything, you can text me or email me and I can pretty much answer just about everything.
Thanks for what you do, Sue. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Thanks for jumping in the live chat saying hello. All right, Brian is going to give us a little bit of time. Brian, I think can you hear me, Brian?
Yes, I can, Jay. Sorry, I can't do video at this moment.
No video, no problem at all. Well, I'll tell you what, Sue, why don't you bring up the load board?
Okay.
And while we catch up with Brian, I know every time I always say, hey, Sue, why don't you bring up the load board? And then I grab the screen back and share some more crap. It's typical. This is ATI. So, Brian, how the heck are you, man? What's happening?
I'm wonderful, Jay. It's good to talk to you again. It's been a while, my friend.
It is. It's great to hear your voice. Now, are you at a show or I don't know? Are you on the road or I don't know.
I'm on the road.
On the
I'm
road.
going to be working with a friend of mine doing some tow truck driver training in the Kansas City area this weekend.
Right.
So I'm close to you.
Yeah. I saw you're actually in like Olathe or Lenexa or
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
okay. So tow truck driver training. Tell us more about that. What does that look like?
That is light, medium, heavy duty drivers, and classroom training, talk about principles and theory, then practice it in the yard where you hook up the things and roll them over, lift them, learn what your equipment can do, what not to do with it, and help make better operators, safer operators. They're going to make good, competent decisions, kind of just like in your world where we've been asked to train people how to load their car haulers so that we don't have the flip of the week and stuff like that. You know, tow truck drivers need education as well.
I thought of you. I saw a potential flip of the week. The guy was driving a wedge, driving probably like a, I don't know, it was like a 3500. It's not like it was a problem, but he did have a medium to large SUV up on number 1, and he was on, I don't know if he was on the interstate, I can't remember, and I thought, you know, he's probably headed somewhere, but, you know, it's interesting. It's you probably see it all day. I think my point is, you're always going to see this stuff every day, all the time. It's part of the collective unconsciousness that you can just do that.
Yes, it's just like when you buy a new green car, all you see is that same make and model in that same color everywhere. We just focus on what we're thinking about at the moment. And so, yes, I focus on DOT violations, especially with car haulers and tow trucks, because that's been most of my adult life.
We were talking about, so I was saying how I was talking to a broker friend of mine yesterday, and we were talking about the industry, that carriers are hungry and capacity's down, costs are up. What's it like in the towing industry?
Not much different.
Not much different, really.
It's very similar to the entry-level auto transport world, where if you can afford to buy a truck and afford to make the insurance payment, there are very few regulations beyond the same stuff that your audience has to comply with to become a tower. And there are brokers in the towing industry. We just call them motor clubs or call aggregators. They call them dispatch services, but not the same as you do in your world. And so they're the ones that have the contracts with the state farms and all states and stuff like that. And they give the work out. There's, just like in your world, there's apps where you can just sign up and be the Uber of towing, where you're the nearest truck and you get a call dispatched to you, whether you actually know what you're doing or not. It's very similar world. And so part of my mission, as you know, I've worked with the towing industry forever, is to professionalize and train in that industry.
Let's say you're in the towing industry. Do you rely on word of mouth, marketing, AAA, just driving around? I mean, how do you grow business?
All of the above. Towing's a little different than the auto transport for that. Most people will start out with some motor club contracts, like being a contractor for AAA or areas you're very familiar with in your world. They'll start out as a contract hauler for Copart or insurance auto auctions, and then they start picking up a little work here and there because people see their truck, see their phone number painted on the side of it, and then when they have built up, they have a facility that meets the standards for police rotation. They sign up, and hopefully they get qualified to receive calls from law enforcement when there's crashes or impounds, and that's how you build it. Very organic, just like building a transport company.
What's it cost to get in as an owner-operator tow truck driver?
Very, very similar to your world. Tow trucks are expensive. A brand new light-duty entry-level truck is over $100,000 today. Used trucks are through the roof too, $30,000-$50,000 for a wore-out truck. So you're going to drop six figures to get started right away.
And is there a lot? I'm guessing there's a lot of owner-operator tow truck drivers.
Not as many as you would think, but there are a lot of small 2 to 5 truck fleets in the towing industry.
Wonder if there's a YouTube video, Get Rich Towing. You think there is?
I'm sure there is, Jay.
You think it's real helpful and informative?
Yeah.
How to make? Here we go. How to make the most money towing. How I got my first tow truck. Yeah, here we go. This is interesting. Let's see.
It's very similar to the auto transport world. Very, very similar.
And of course, the first YouTube short is a lady with, I don't know if she's going to take her top off. So there you go. That's why you get into towing. Let's see. Make 5,000. Here we go. Make 5,000 a week. Oh my God. Look, no way. Sue, this is crazy. I literally just said.
Hey.
Not that guy. Look at this. Make $5,000 a week with a pickup truck side hustle. How many views did he get, Sue? 100,000 views, just like I said. Oh wait, you can't
exactly like you said.
Did I just call that or what?
Jay, that happens in every industry. There's always somebody that's going to be the get-rich-quick person.
And Sue's like, there he goes again, taking my screen away.
You're fine.
But that is weird. And look, I mean, whether it's a little bit of extra cash or a six-figure income, we think there's no better way than to make quick extra money. You want to weigh in on that? Is that a great way? Can you make $5,000 a week?
No, you cannot. Just like you can't effectively be a part-time trucking company owner. Being a part-time tow truck business owner is not going to end any better for you.
Do you see? Am I the only one that sees this whole like side hustle thinking as like side hustle? I realize like part-time job, second job, third job. But
side hustle is making crafts in your garage to sell at the flea market or something like that. A side hustle is being an electrician or a plumber that does jobs on the side in your normal trade. I don't think owning a pickup truck and trailer to haul cars or hot shot freight is a side hustle.
Yeah, how exactly? What would be your first hustle? I'm a surgeon. Like you're a surgeon with a trucking side hustle.
Hey, I trained for a Class A driver's license.
Scalpel.
And it was a chemist with a PhD.
Oh, hang on. I got to move a car. Hold on. Let me just pinch the kidney here. Like, what is this? I don't get it. Yeah, how would you side hustle trucking? I don't get that.
Well, you can't legally because of hours of service. And,
is that right?
Yeah.
Shoot, legally?
Why
did you have to bring that up?
To a side hustle in towing is owning an auto repair facility and having a tow truck for servicing your own customers that organically grows into a towing service. And that's the way a lot of the successful companies have started. Is they started with a corner gas station with a repair bay, which basically doesn't exist today, and they developed a tow truck. Used to be a tool to bring repair work into your shop. Now that things go back to dealers and other highly specialized auto repair centers, that model just isn't as popular in our industry anymore.
All right, Sue, I mean it this time. Let's search for some loads. Who's got a load search?
All right.
Can we get a route scout in here? Let's do a route scout, and I guarantee I got a real hunch that whatever we scout is going to require some input from Brian. I'm feeling lucky on this thing.
I have up Dallas right now.
You're doing, and I can see. I think I see. I don't know. It's a Y mail. Okay, so you're doing tow truck driver training right now, Brian. And we know that you answer questions about DOT issues. Is there an issue right now, whether it's broker, DOT, undercarriage, freight, car hauling, TQL, convoy? What do you want to talk about?
Oh, there's so many issues. With the recent failure of Convoy and their conceptual AI-based brokerage house, we learned a valuable lesson about not putting all your eggs in one basket, because a lot of good owner-operators are going to be burnt because of only using one brokerage. But if we're going to talk about stuff like that, we have the problems with brokerages. We have the problems with double brokering, which is leading to fraud, where the carrier that actually hauls the load doesn't get paid. We have problems with increased DOT compliance. We're going to see the current administration has very high hopes for a lot of increased regulations, although we do have some legislative that is set up to counter that with things such as the speed limiter mandate. But we're looking at a whole lot happening and not enough money for you to be able to afford to comply.
Oh no. That actually, you just summed it up.
Yes.
You're not going to make enough money to comply with all the rules.
That's the hard part. And then
Wow.
we have emissions increasing again. The Pennsylvania Motor Truck Association, so the Pennsylvania Trucking Association, just filed suit along with a couple of their members against the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania about them automatically adopting California Air Resource Board regulations, because Pennsylvania is adopting CARB regulations.
CARB. Oh, God.
Yep.
You know, talking about CARB is like... I'd rather talk about AB5 than CARB. Am I alone? I mean, like, CARB is like there are a cajillion problems, and we're still focused on air quality.
Yes.
I mean, right? Like, does that mean that there's, like, somebody has a lobbyist that just won't stop?
When will Danny pick up?
Like, who could it be? Like,
deliver the next day.
Like, I don't know. Hey, Sue. So Devon's got DMV to North Carolina.
What's DMV?
I'm so glad you asked. I happen to remember this one, and I wondered if everybody knew. DMV.
It's the Delmarva Peninsula, right?
Well, I don't know. Okay, so we all have guesses. I think DMV means DC Metro, DC, Maryland, Virginia.
Okay.
It could be.
I think it is. Am I right? Does DMV stand for DC, Maryland, Virginia?
I'm putting it up with the assumption that is correct.
Oh, Devon. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. So what you do is you DC 100 miles around DC. Yeah.
Yeah. Maryland, Virginia. This is what I got up.
Well, and do this. I think here's what you do. Take out Maryland, Virginia, and just do 100 miles around DC.
That's still Maryland and Virginia.
Yeah, but it takes out some of the wonky, like, you know, it's going to take out Virginia Beach and Southwest Virginia.
Yes.
Kicking up dust. Hey, Brian, how do you get a TDLR license? And
very good question. That is the Texas Department of Regulation, Licensing and Regulation. And so there are two parts to a TDLR license as they pertain to towing. One is the operator card, where you have to undergo classroom and, for your first time ever, hands-on training. Then you can do online refresher. So you have to do retraining, be recertified. And you get different classes of TDLR license. Consent towing, which is the lowest class. That means the customer hired you and wants you to move their vehicle. Then private property or incident management, so for doing towaways or police work on the highway. Then as the facility that employs you, or as the owner-operator owns a towing company, your facility gets inspected by TDLR and has a whole bunch of regulations to meet, and business hours and office space and storage facilities and so on. And so the best way to get them is to contact the Southwest Tow Operators. That's SWTOW.com. The Southwest Tow Operators is the Texas Towing Association, and they can give you advice on what you need to do, and they can even provide you with links to training resources.
So TDLR, Texas Department of Licensing and Registration, was that right?
Licensing and registration or regulation, something like that. Yes,
Right.
they cover everything from amusement park rides and elevators and hotels to towing and hairdressers and everything in between.
And TDLR, I guess the T is Texas.
Yes.
Yeah,
If you just search TDLR, you will come up with their website. It's like tdlr.tx.gov or something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. I only have 2 or 3 clients in Texas.
Yeah. So does every
And
state
now
have
in
their own? Yeah, go ahead.
Not every state has their own version of that. Only a handful of states actually do.
Okay.
Now, the interesting part about TDLR and why it comes up in your world is a lot of Texas vehicle storage facilities will not release cars to you without a TDLR number.
Ooh.
However, if you are an interstate motor carrier with a valid US DOT number, and they do have the legal obligation to verify that before they release the car to you in Texas, then you do not need a TDLR number even to pick up a wrecked car, provided you are a properly licensed interstate motor carrier.
Wow, that was really kicking up dust. Thank you, Brian.
That question comes up quite often because in Texas it's quite common. They ask you for your cab card and your TDLR license, and so the Texas towers have created a document that's got their registration, their insurance card, their facility license, their TDLR number, their DOT number, and the operator's card all together to present when you show up.
Brian, are you familiar with Cleardata software?
No, I am not on that particular one.
So I shared it in the live chat. We had this Cleardata software demo show last Thursday, and they keep talking about Cleardata and saying the word Cleardata because I want Cleardata to be more of a known term in auto transport, because Cleardata in recovery and repossession, everybody knows Cleardata is the central dispatch of auto repossession.
Okay.
So, and that it's different. It's not a load board, but it's a TMS where repo recovery agents manage their vehicle inventory. And in fact, then the question comes up now, do the remarketers, lenders, and auctions use Cleardata? And part of the answer to that is they actually use Auto IMS. Have you heard of Auto IMS?
Not in your instance, no.
Right? No, and that's why I'm here. I'm hoping you, like, if you kept saying, yeah, I've heard of it, know all of it, I'd have nothing to say. But thank you for helping me out. I just shared Auto IMS in the live chat. Now, if I was in the auction world and I said, what's Auto IMS? People would laugh me out of the room.
Yeah,
But,
well, in our world, in the towing world, we have Auto Data Direct, which is a service provider that lets us get registered owner information, because we have an obligation when we do a non-consensual tow to notify the registered owner in a certain time period that we have your car, or the last known owner or lien holder. But then we also have a whole bunch of software like Beacon, Tow Books. These are similar to like Dispatch Anywhere and stuff like that allow us to manage our inventory and dispatching calls. And there's a huge software company called Traxero, which actually is tied into your world because they own a auto auction software platform, Auction Now, I believe it's called. And the gentleman that founded that used to work for one of the large upstate New York auto dealership chains, and I'm going blank on his name and the chain he used to work for, but he was the creator of that software, and now they sold that to Traxero, which is a consolidator of software programs in the towing industry.
wow, I just found towspec.com.
That's from Beacon Software. That will tell you hookup points and information you need to know when you're using a tow truck or a flatbed carrier to transport a car.
Wow, you can search vehicles, and it even says...
It even gives you the curb weight, which is very helpful for transporters.
Oh, wow. It even says powered by Traxero.
Yep.
This is why I talk about technology, because there is so much... I tell you, honestly, I've been working on, I got Used Car Week next week, and I've been working on some marketing info and presentation stuff, and I was looking at AI. Did you know you can use AI now to build presentation graphics?
Really?
You can use AI to do everything.
Yeah.
I literally, this is nuts. I typed into ChatGPT. Now, ChatGPT didn't throw out a bunch of graphics. So I Googled AI presentation graphics software, and there was like 10 different choices. Now, most of them wanted me to pay something, but yeah, I mean, I don't have to like hunt down a graphics designer on Fiverr. I can now get an AI tool. It's crazy. The world is moving so fast. So
Yes.
I do love to share these domains, these software, because like, okay, so getting back to Cleardata, auto recovery, inventory management, auto IMS, auction inventory, vehicle management, and then you have super dispatch, central dispatch, auto transport, vehicle inventory management.
Yep, and when you get into the general freight world, anyone that's run a regular trucking company, they're familiar with McLeod, which is probably the most popular TMS out there for managing shipment of freight between customer and multiple carriers, so consignee, multiple carriers. That's where the pro or PRO number comes from, is from TMSs like that in the regular freight world. So software is something else out there.
The thing is, it's but and here that's why I like to share the links in the live chat too, because at least this is somewhat of a library. Because you're like, yeah, what was that link? I'll go back to the ATI show. All right, we are searching for. This is our final segment. We're searching DMV to North Carolina. Sue, I know you've been searching. What have you found? She's been on a silent search.
Sorry. No, I have it up. Can you see my screen?
Yeah. What's going on over here? It looks like you got a bunch of stuff.
I pulled the ones that I think would work. So you have to be signed up with eCar, and they don't tell you what it is until you call. But there's nothing. Usually, it's not anything really big. That's a good paying one. That's $1.58 a mile.
Ooh, nice.
Conway's not too far off from Wilmington. I think it's at 45 miles or something like that. What's weird is, let's see. I did never notice this, but when you put these into checked, it doesn't give you how far the places are. Bizarre, huh?
What?
Yeah, look. But when I go back, interesting. We've never actually checked this.
Oh, no way.
When I go back,
glitch.
See, look, yeah. Like there's a Fredericksburg, and it tells you how far away it is. You know what I mean?
So no, that's okay. So this is actually really good. This is why we do this. All right, so we're not going to say anything negative. We're just going to say, hey guys, double check when you mark a load. Double check on the what? That's the distance.
It's when you click the load to go to the work list, it doesn't give you the distance from anything any longer. Like when I clicked on this, it doesn't show you like.
Yeah, because I want to know that.
It shows you
I want to know proximity.
It's 44 miles southwest. It's an E150. Yeah, that all disappears.
Interesting.
Yeah, never noticed that before.
That really helps when you're putting a route together, because you got to know that stuff.
Yeah, and that's the whole purpose of putting it in the checklist, so I can compare them against each other.
I think it's just a glitch. I'm going to go optimistic on this one.
But did
everybody hear me say that?
Yes.
Wow.
Okay, so here's Sherpa.
Feels good.
It's Queenstown. So Conway is 67 miles to the west of Wilmington, but it's paying $1.27 a mile. That's a good load. Let's see what else we got. This is the other one we were looking at. This is for eCar. It's in Shady Springs. It's going to Wilmington straight. You'd have to, and like I said, you have to be signed up with them, and it is kind of a process. And I don't think they hold loads. I'm pretty sure they don't. So you got to get signed up with them and get all your packet over to them, and then you have to wait for somebody in the offices to get you ready. It takes an hour or two, just so everybody knows. Let's see. Those are two really good ones going to that area. I'm not sure how big car hauler he is. So I just checked the best looking going to the best places, and I think that was the end of it. But yeah, in the work list,
I want to say 4 car.
I mean,
what do
you
think,
can
Brian?
do
You think
routes,
Devon's a 4 car?
I don't remember.
I know, right? I think it's 4.
And then we got one. That's a really big one with a 14-foot. It looks like a box truck on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Whoa.
Yeah, so we'll uncheck that.
Yeah.
Here's a Mercedes-Benz at Dundalk, so you'd need your TWIC card to go get
you
it.
have a TWIC car. Transcar Auto Shippers.
I like Transcar. They're a good company.
Oh, good. Well, that helps a lot.
Here's a brandy wine. That's going to be, I think, oh, there we go, IA.
I was going to say, that's a, is that an exporter?
No.
And it's a 92. Look at that, a 92 Chevy Lumina.
But I think you're bringing it to him. I think he's a dealer. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Let me see.
So it's probably a buy here, pay here.
Yeah, you're bringing it to him.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he probably is a buy here, pay here kind of guy.
I wonder what that thing costs once they got that baby all shined up. What do they list that at?
Way too much in today's market.
You're right, but they're getting away with it.
That's true. That guy's making money. That's awesome.
When the salvage yards are buying cars off the street over to scale for $600 and $800 in some cases today, that 92 Chevy Lumina is probably a $3,000 car at a buy here pay here car lot. You put $500 down and you covered what he paid in transport and IAA purchase fees and his $39 detail and a little bit of motor honey, and if you make one payment on it, he's happy.
Right. Well, usually this is what I was told on the buy here, pay now. They make you put a down payment that's equal to what they paid for that car, so they never lose what they put in the investment.
Exactly. Very close to or even above what they have in the car.
Yeah. So if they still put a low jack on your car and come take it either way and start all over again.
They'll sell it 3 or 4 times.
Yes. True. Very true.
Actually, and what's interesting, I've learned more and more about buy here, pay here car dealers, and that it's like a real business model. There's a lot of training. If you were like, let's say if you were spinning a wheel, should I get into car hauling, freight, towing, or buy here, pay here?
Buy here, pay here.
Yeah, buy here, pay here is the answer. Yeah, it is.
I used to have a dealer license. Yes, that's where the money is in this industry.
Yep. Let's see. All right, good. That was good. Keep going, Sue. That was really good.
I mean, those two are the best ones on here, and I like the Transcar one too. It looks like Victory says he's got a TWIC card, I believe, so that would work for him. And I think there was another one for RPM up here too.
Always get your TWIC.
Here's your this is going to be at the port too, more than likely, for RPM. So if you're going up north to get those other ones, I'd get those too. I mean, depends on what he can fit, but yeah. And you can pay to have someone go get your cars at the port. They have the
escorts
there. Now, we did one down in Mobile last week. And originally back in the day, and I don't know if that's the case or not, but they would only charge $50 an hour. Now it's more than that. It's so much per car. I think my guy was told like over $120 for 2 vehicles or something like that. So
it's not cheap. Yeah.
No, it's not.
No, it's
not. You got to
not.
be paying the right amount of money if you're going to do it. Let's put it that way.
So, how much does it cost to get your own TWIC? Do we know?
I don't know if it costs. It's just a lot of paperwork, and they do a background check. And
look at this.
You can't have anything on your record.
I'm going to take the screen for a second. Look at this. I just actually got the answer, and I've never known this.
Yes, there's a fee for your threat assessment, and then reissuing the credential, and it is a detailed dive, but if you qualify for hazardous materials endorsement or a pre-check at the airport, then you normally will clear a TWIC, and even in some cases you can clear a TWIC and not be able to have your hazmat.
If you're, it looks like a TWIC, if I got this right, it's valid for 5 years, and if you do 2 escorts, you've pretty much paid for your TWIC.
True. But how long?
So-
It doesn't say how long it takes, right? I know
See,
it
I've
takes
always-
sometimes a couple months.
Yeah.
Yes, the initial application is
Yeah.
several months, and then you start to renew it about 90 days before it expires, and it takes almost every bit of that sometimes.
Yeah.
All right, Sue, you can put Central back up there. What I want to know is, if Devon is a 4-car, can you put together a load based on this Route Scout?
Yeah, let me see here. It depends what kind of 4-car. I kind of need to know what.
Let's go with Easy 4. Let's go with
Okay.
Kaufman Easy 4. I think that's what it is.
You know, I
I know,
love
right?
them. Hold on.
Oh, I know. Well, it's more challenging, so that's what we're
So
going to do.
I would start with the mix unit for e-car and find out what that is,
Yeah.
and then you
Probably
go
a
from
sedan.
there. Obviously, you can take the Sherpa one because it's a car. The Mercedes-Benz is a car as well. So I think even if this was an SUV, you're good. Even if this was a truck, you're good. And then you pick out one other one that's going to be along your route.
This doesn't look bad.
No, and if you're going to be up north at the port and stuff, I'd grab the Baltimore one, the Chevy Blazer. Now, let's see. We know, so Sherpa's really hard to get a hold of.
Which one is Sherpa? Which car?
This is the
Oh,
Optima.
the Kia. Okay.
Yeah, they do have this now that you can go, and I don't think you want that phone number there.
Interesting.
But you can go in here now and request the load. But I will say, I've waited for hours for them to answer me, and by that time I was gone. So definitely call too. Put in your request. Can you see the request page?
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know about that.
Yeah. They just started doing this because, I mean, if you want me to be honest, they don't answer the phone. And I think this is why they did this. But then yet still it takes forever to get an answer on if you're wanting that load right then and there, don't plan on it. You better plan on it's for tomorrow because you probably aren't going to hear from them until later in the day.
I wonder why. I'm not going to go any further than that, but I just wonder why.
I don't know. There's a lot of brokers out there that
Are they
do
dispatching
this.
a lot of cars, maybe, with just a small office?
No, I mean, honestly, I don't see. I mean, I like working with them. They pay well. They always pay well. But getting them to answer you is near to impossible. But there's several brokers like this that you cannot get them to answer the phone, or you call 50 million times to finally get through. Then they say they're going to send you the broker sheet, and then it never fails. It never comes over. So then you got to wait on hold again for another 30, 40 minutes. And I'm not kidding you when I say 30, 40 minutes to an hour on some of these brokers of calling back to back to get them to answer the phone.
Who waits a half hour to find out if someone's going to answer the phone?
Well, when you're desperate for loads like we all are, we all do it.
Wow.
Unfortunately.
Man. So, all right, put in your DOT number, the order ID on Central Dispatch, then what happens?
Then you wait for them to call you back and whether they'll give you the load or not.
Wow, or I could have left a
If you're set
voicemail.
up, you know?
Yeah, I got you.
They
All
may
right.
want your cert. They may want your DOT, that kind of stuff.
Interesting. It's good to be king. Okay. All right, so we got sounds like we got Devon. You got a load. Book it, Dano. Go get that 92 Lumina.
Yeah.
And Brian, thanks so much for joining us. It was great to have you on today.
Yeah, we need to do
fun.
this once in a while. With
Yeah,
a couple,
we will.
I apologize. I was just getting off an airplane to get out here to Kansas City, or I would have been a little better prepared today.
No, wait, you're fine. Listen, that's the way we do it. Is that I spin the plates and you do the talking. What we'll do is we'll have you back on. Plan on Q1 2024.
Sure.
And we'll try to be thinking about that. Keep that thought. Keep me in mind. And when you see a great opportunity for a time to do a show, then we'll put you in the rotation. That'd be cool.
Yes, I'll pay attention to what's happening so we can put together a hit list of regulations that are going to be problematic, which sometime in beginning of Q1 we'll have an idea what is happening with the political arena, and we'll have a good idea of where this might be going, because we've got to get past this Speaker of the House and budget nonsense and all that before anything's really
Speaker of the House stuff. Can you add, and I'm pretty sure, I think I speak for most of America when I say, does it matter that there's a new Speaker of the House?
Actually, it does, though.
Okay. Tell us why.
Only because the Speaker of the House is the leader of the House of Representatives, so he has ultimate power over what actually makes it to the floor, gets debated, the rules that gets debated under, so they can block something that they don't want to advance. Probably the only other most powerful person in the House of Representatives is actually the chairman of the House Rules Committee, because they set the rules, and then the Speaker's gavel drops on what they can and can't do. So
I could never do it. Oh man.
It's an interesting world.
Just nuts. Well, how does this affect trucking and Pete Buttigieg? Does it?
No, because he is executive branch. So what it would affect is when the Congress passes regulations to limit the power of DOT or limit the funding at DOT, like they're looking at doing to stop the speed limiter mandate. That's how it could then affect Secretary of Transportation, Buttigieg, and those over at the FMCSA.
Maybe like a top 5 most important political, legal updates in auto logistics. Like, there's the brokering stuff. That's got to be up there, right?
Yes.
And maybe there's a top 5 or a top 3 list that that might even be, a future podcast that you can do or whatever. But that might be a good potential topic for our next live segment with you in Q1 2024.
Yeah, that is a really good idea.
Because there is so much happening, and I think that's actually why. Like, what do we even ask? Where do we start? Right?
Yeah.
What's changed?
Yeah,
what don't I
points.
know? Yeah. All right. Sue, Brian, live chat, everybody. I want to thank everybody for taking the time to tune in live and on demand. I actually thought today's show was pretty fascinating. Sue, I can't wait to get the update on that rate agreement.
Okay.
So please let us know.
As soon as I know. We should find out something today or tomorrow, I would say. But they're going to pay me either way. I'm going to just tell you that.
They're going to pay. And now, are we talking the original rate?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if I got to go to the bond company, I got a contract. You don't get to get out of that after we've delivered because you screwed up something. You know what I mean?
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Oh, boy. They'll be replaying this video up in the corner office. At least we'll get a few extra views out of that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, don't kill the messenger. We're trying to help. You don't want to see this. Don't end up on the screen. Just do business correctly. Right?
Right.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. All right. Well, thank you, Brian. Thank you, Sue. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Now, what do we say, office?
Goodbye.
Join us,
Goodbye,
Brian.
Sue.
Goodbye, Sue. Thanks, everybody. You take care. You stay classy, San Diego, and we'll see you soon.
I've already got it.
All right. Peace out.